Okay. So, yeah, we are at math time, totally. So, okay, it looks like people have plotted most of our data. Okay. So we have hours worked and tips. Okay. So kind of a useful thing anytime you're dealing with work and all of that stuff. Please keep in mind, this is really weirdly numbered, but this is 10, 12, 14, in case you couldn't tell, but that's what it is. So I'd say the last one we need to have on there is working 11 and then 26, right there. Cool. So we have our data. Okay, so that's obviously the first step when we tackle a problem like this is we want to plot the data. Now, it's not possible to connect the data. That really wouldn't tell us anything, but we want to make what's called a line of best fit through the data. And this line should hopefully include most of your data. Okay, so maybe something like that, you know, ish. Whatever. And do you guys remember, why do we put a line? Why do we want to make a line a best fit? What's the advantage of doing that? Like, why would we put some sort of a line in there? What are we hoping to do by making a line a best fit? Yeah, visualize it better. That's right. That's right. Because if I was this person and if I was saying, okay, if I work 4 hours, I'm not going to make as much tips. You're not going to make the same amount of tips every time, right? Because it depends on who's there, how busy it is, whatever. But the more hours you work, what's going to happen tips wise? According to our data, the more hours you work. No, yeah. Well, there's a lot of things here, Malachi, that I think it is right. Definitely. It's not like the pinpoint thing I'm trying to get at, but it's valid and it's correct. Definitely. When we visualize it better, we'll be able to do a lot of things. We'll be able to see the correlation of the data, right? This data has what type of a correlation? Positive or negative? Positive. Yeah, it's got a positive correlation because as the hours you work go up, so does the amount of tips that you can earn. Does it have a strong correlation or a weak correlation? Strong. It's pretty strong, yeah, because the data is pretty close to the line. Some of it's right on the line. But yeah, it's got a pretty almost a linear relationship there. So we want to make an equation for this line because what we want to do is we want to figure out how much a worker will earn in tips in 10 hours according to the data. We can kind of guess, right? If we look on the chart, if you go from 10 hours, kind of hits the line exactly. What are we saying that the person might earn? How much in tips? What do you guys think? How much in tips will that person earn according to the data? If you go to 10 for hours worked and go up to the line, what is the line predicting? $24. Yeah, the line is predicting that that person will earn $24 just because that's where it hits the line. It might not happen. It's a prediction, but it's still there. And in case it was like crossing real not nice, like over here, see how it crosses not on an exact spot, that's where we might want to create an equation. Okay, so remember that was from last week. That's where we got 2 points off of the line, found the slope, and found the y-intercept. Should we go through that? I don't want to torture you guys too much with that. We have other stuff to do, but if you would like to see it, we could do that. Otherwise, it is on the previous live session videos. Or I could help you with it one-on-one. So what do you guys think? Do you want to go through it? You can give me a check mark or a cross. Do the little stamp. So right here, using angles? What do you mean by that, Malachi? So yeah, if you want to see us go through this again, give me the check mark. That is a very valid question. What you're thinking of is you're thinking of trigonometry. Yeah, definitely. And a little bit of geometry, because there is trigonometry where you use the XY axis and like this part represents 0 degrees and we might have like a 45-degree angle. So very interesting. Trigonometry, yeah, that's good stuff. It's very cool. Okay, so people want to see me go through it because I'd be happy to do it. If you don't want me to do it, put the X. Put the little X mark if you don't want me to do it. Okay, so everybody right now, oh, that's okay. If you want to see me demonstrate how to write the equation for the line of best fit here, please put a check mark stamp in that box. If you don't want me to do it, put the X there. This is material we covered last week, but I would be happy to review it if this is an assignment you are still trying to get done. And remember, I can't tell who's stamping what, so it's okay if you put yes. Okay. So I'll go with majority here. The majority say nay, we'll move on, but to the person who put the check mark on there, yeah, I mean, it's pretty pretty quick to do. I'll just mention the process. The process is you get 2 points right on the line. So see, I picked 820 and 922. And then you find the slope using the equation, and then you find the y-intercept. And that is by doing point slope or putting it into y equals mx plus b and solving for b. Yeah, not that simple, right? That's what we were doing last week. So yeah. Oh, we'll just do it. What the hey? What the hey, right? It won't kill you. I promise. It'll be quick. Feel free to tune out if you don't need to know it. But okay, let's find the slope. To find the slope super fast, all we got to do is subtract the y's on top and then subtract the x's on the bottom. So what would be the y's that I could subtract on the top for the slope? What are the y's in my 2 points there? What are my y's? What are my y's? Come on, friends, what are the y's? 20 and 22, yeah. So I'll start with the second one, 22 minus 20. That gives me 2. And then on the bottom, I'm going to do the x's. So if I started with the 22, I got to start with the 9 minus 8, 1. So I get a slope of 2. Then I'm going to plug it into, so my slope is 2. We got to keep that in mind. I'm going to plug it into y equals mx plus b to figure out the y-intercept. So I'll use one of my points, I'll use 8, 20, and I'll use my slope. And I'm going to plug it into y equals mx plus b, and then solve for b. So I'm going to plug in y is 20, slope is 2, x is 8, and b is what I'm trying to solve for. And then we simplify, and I have a one-step equation, so how would I get that 16 away from the b? How would I solve for b here? What would I do? Oh my gosh, someone answer. Tired, getting sleepy. What would I do? How would I solve for b here? How would we cancel the plus 16? Minus 16. Thanks, Ava. Yeah, we would subtract 16. So we would get 4 equals our y-intercept. And you can tell it's a little bit off here, but you know, there is some element for human error when you're drawing that stuff. So my equation would be 2x, my slope was 2, plus 4. And that way, if we wanted to find how much a worker could earn in tips if they worked 10 hours, I could just plug the 10 into my problem. 10 times 2 is 20. 20 plus 4 is 24. So pretty cool. Any questions on that? Again, that's from last week, but if you're still struggling with it, don't feel bad. I can help you. Okay. Next one. Okay, so we are in week 16, you guys. There's just a few assignments left. Oh my gosh. You have till the end of the month and then you're home free. You got this. So please use this time to get caught up, to go back and fix stuff up. I want to give every single one of you A's. Everyone. I know that's not going to happen, but, you know, I'm here to help. This is what is actually on the for school. School's done at the end of this month, right? End of May. Yeah. So we got to keep trucking along. We're almost done. But you guys have, oh, cool. See, it's a present for your birthday, Malachi. But you have, there's 4 assignments, technically 5 on your to-do list, but it doesn't really show up on there because 2 of those assignments, the MCA prep quiz and the speedy scatter plots quiz, are extra credit. So really good opportunity to get some extra points in there, but technically all that's due this week is 1 math mindset assignment and then perimeter and area. That's it. So yeah, it's not too bad. You can totally do it. Half of you have already turned in your perimeter and area assignment, so you're like done. So if that is you, I highly recommend doing this. We are not doing MCAs this year, obviously, because of the COVID, but it's still good questions, good challenge, and it's worth extra credit. So yeah. Good stuff. The 13th? Oh my gosh, happy early birthday. What? This was not supposed to happen like this. No. Oh, weird. Guys, that's so weird. Okay, well, we'll go with this. So let's get on what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about a whole bunch of perimeter, area, and circumference. Okay? Perimeter is the distance around the outside of a figure, we'll say. And area is the amount of space in a 2D figure. That's area. Okay, and it's the same thing. Area, it can be for circles, any figure, but if we're talking about a circle instead of perimeter, they use the word circumference. For circles. Okay, and there's a different formula for that. But here are some common formulas. Well, this is what was, yeah, kind of. We have it in the 7th grade curriculum, and it shows up again in the 8th grade curriculum. So yeah, I guess it's some kind of review. It's really good to do it a little bit every year. So yeah, so not too bad. Like I said, we'll go through it pretty quickly. So here's all our formulas. Okay, area of a triangle, 1/2 base times height. I usually like to do base times height divided by 2. Area is length times width. Trapezoid, you add the bases, multiply by height, and divide by 2. Good. No, that's so good. I'm glad. Parallelogram is base times height. And then for a circle, area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. And circumference is 2 times the pi times the radius, or pi times the diameter. So it's good equations to have. If you forget, Google is incredible because usually you can just type in the measurements right into Google and they will calculate it for you. It's pretty cool. But is anybody writing this stuff down? Or I should pause on the screen. I know some of you might remember it and not need to write it down. Excuse me. But whenever I'm in a class or a meeting, I like to write stuff down. It helps me focus. So is anybody writing this down? Speak now before I flip the slide. Actually, I'm not going to flip the slide because over here, let's look at this. So we have a rectangle up here, and I want to find the perimeter of this rectangle, this guy with a 5 and the 8. What am I going to add to find the perimeter? What would I do? Someone write it on the screen or tell me what to do in chat. Do it, tell me. What would I add for the perimeter of this figure? Yeah, very good. 5 plus 5 plus 8 plus 8. Or you could do the formula, which tells us, she beat you, to take 2 times the side length plus 2 times the other side length. So that's 10 plus 16, which gives us a perimeter of 26 feet. And it's not squared because we're talking about the distance around, so it's not squared. What about the area of the triangle down here? How would I find the area of this triangle? What would I multiply? Base times height, and then what? I would go 9 times 4, and then I would divide by 2. Yeah, good job. I'm going to go 9 times 4 divided by 2. So 36 divided by 2. So what would I get for the area? $18. Yep, you're right. 36 divided by 2 is 18. And there's no unit there, so I would just write the word units squared. That one is units squared because it's talking about the space inside. All right, questions on that? Super nice. We got this. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and try this one. Please find the area of this trapezoid. And according to that formula, you have to add the bases, multiply by height, and then multiply by a half. Go ahead and put a stamp next to which number you think the answer is. Are we calculating? Good job, guys. Oh, no problem. Are you on a Chromebook? That happens. It's all good. But yes, that's absolutely correct. We would add the two bases together. Yeah, I know. We would multiply by height and then divide by 2, or multiply by half. So 7 plus 3 is 10 times 3 divided by 2. So 30 divided by 2 definitely gives me 15 yards squared. And remember, you can type it just like that into Desmos. Just like it. Nice job, guys. Okay. So I need, no, we're not gonna do this one. We're gonna talk about circles. Let's talk about circles. So if, there's our circle there, diameter and radius. What's the difference between diameter and radius? Malachi, that's awesome because that also works. Very good. Person who just messaged me, yes, that's correct. Very good. Person who messaged me said the radius is half and diameter is whole. Perfect. So if we have a diameter or a distance across the circle of 12, what would our radius be? Good. If we have a radius of 25, what would the diameter be? No, good try, but radius is half. So we would multiply by 2 to get the diameter. That's my point for doing that. You got to be real careful there. So if we have a diameter of 5, what's the radius? Just put my pen somewhere. There we go. Absolutely. So if they ever give you the diameter, you cut it in half to get the radius. If they give you the radius, you double it to get the diameter. So this one we multiplied by 2. This one we divide by 2. Good. Good stuff, mi amigos. Okay, So we want to find the circumference. There's two ways to find the circumference. Circumference is either 2 pi times the radius or diameter times pi. And they are going to ask for, see, I feel like we've, okay, all right, never mind. They're going to ask for an exact answer and an approximate answer. Remember, the exact answer is the one that has the pi in it, okay? So how would I find that? Which formula would I use for number 1? A circle with a radius of 8. Would I use 2 pi r or pi times diameter? Yeah, I would use 2 pi r. Since I'm given a radius, I'm going to use 2 times pi times the radius for my circumference. So my radius is 8. That's okay, no problem. I knew what you meant. So I'm going to go 2 pi times 8. To get my exact answer, I just multiply the numbers. So I get 16 pi. And that exact answer is done. To get my rounded answer, I am going to proceed to Desmos and multiply. So I would go, Desmos, where are you? I would go 16 pi. And with that, you get 50.27. So you got to look real carefully. Oh, look at that. Good job. You got to look real carefully, okay? Because sometimes it asks for an exact answer. And sometimes it wants a rounded answer. Does that make sense, guys? You just got to look for which answer they want. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So what would my circumference be for number 2? What would be the exact answer for a circle with a diameter of 10? What would I take that 10 and multiply by? By pi. Yeah, exactly. I have a formula that just says diameter times pi. So all I have to do is take my diameter and multiply by pi. So 10 pi would be my exact answer. Can someone tell me what would the rounded answer be? What is 10 times pi? And you can use your phone calculator. 10 times pi. What do you guys get when you go 10 times pi? This would be the rounded answer. Yeah, 31.4. Very good. Or if they want 2 decimal places, 0.42. Very, very good. All right, I think we'll skip that one. Go to the next one. So area is only given as pi times radius squared. So you have to have a radius for the area, okay? So for this one, a circle with a radius of 10 centimeters, I'm gonna go pi times radius squared. What would I do first? To find the actual area. Cade, it sounds like you're underwater. Are you underwater, Cade? Yeah, he was underwater. I knew it. Little swimming for algebra class. Woohoo. No, guys, seriously, what would I do first? How would I approach this? I know this is the formula. I know my radius is 10. Oh, that's okay. No problem, Cade. No problemo, my friend. What would I do first? Radius is 10, and according to the formula, I have to square the radius. So I'm going to square what number? 47? 792? Just kidding. But what number am I going to square? No, I'm not going to divide it. Yeah, that's what can get confusing. We don't have to cut this in half because this is a radius. A radius is what I want. No, it's okay. I'm glad someone answered. Thank you. A radius is what I want. Yeah, I'm going to square that radius. So I'm going to go pi times 10 squared. And then I simplify further. What is 10 squared? It's the same as 10 times 10, right? 100. So my exact answer for my area would be 100 pi. What would I get for my rounded answer when I actually do 100 times pi? Yeah, 314.16. Good. And it'd be centimeters squared. Nice. What do I have to do to number 2 first in order to find the area there? What am I going to have to do there? Because I need to take radius, square it, and multiply by pi. Do I have a radius in number 2? Nine. Yes, I do. Yeah, it would be 9. If the diameter is 10, half of that would be my radius, which is 9. So I'm going to square that 9. So we get 81 pi. And then what is 81 pi? What's 81 times pi? Don't make me calculate. Beautiful. Oops. Just unplugged myself. There you go. Just unplugged myself. Sorry. I know, guys, it's a little dry. We're talking formulas and formulas. It's not too exciting, but okay. The centimeters squared. Does that make sense? What we have to do? You have to pick the right formula and plug in what you're given. That is your whole objective here today. Okay? So, yeah. That's all I have for you, lovely people. We're done a little bit early, so you can go and work on that assignment. You guys like my picture? Thanks. Yeah, I know. I told you it was really short today. We just had to review area. So go work on your stuff. Let me know if I can help you at all, okay?